This is the fourth trigonometric function we're going to be solving, and it's cosecant of x plus cotangent of x over tan of x plus sine of x. These are the following trigonometric identities we're going to be using, and so cosecant of x equals 1 over sine of x, cotangent of x is the same as cos of x over sine of x, and tan of x equals sine of x over cos of x. Cosecant of x is the same as 1 over sine of x, so we're going to write that as 1 over sine of x plus cotangent of x is the same as cos of x over sine of x, so we're going to write that as cos of x over sine of x. And all of this is over tan of x, which can also be written as sine of x over cos of x, plus sine of x over 1. Notice how in the top you have a common denominator, so that actually can be written as 1 plus cos of x over sine of x. And that's going to be over. Here at the bottom you want to find a common denominator. So you got to multiply sine of x over 1 times cos of x over cos of x. And you're going to end up with sine of x plus sine of x times cos of x. And that's going to be over cos of x. This can be written as 1 plus cos of x over sine of x over, notice how you can factor out a sine of x at in the bottom, so that's gonna leave you with sine of x times 1 plus cos of x over cos of x. That's the same as 1 plus cos of x over sine of x times, we're going to multiply it by the reciprocal of the bottom part, so that's going to give us cos of x over sine of x times 1 plus cos of x. So I basically flipped the bottom part. So now notice that you can cancel out 1 plus cos of x and 1 plus cos of x, and that's going to leave you 1 here. And that equals 1 over sine of x times cos of x over sine of x. If you go back to your trigonometric identities, you'll notice that 1 over sine of x is the same as cosecant of x, and cos of x over sine of x is the same as cotangent of x. So this is actually cosecant of x times cotangent of x. And this is our final result. This is the last trigonometric function we're going to be solving, and it's sine of x minus 2 times sine cube of x over 2 times cos cube of x minus cos of x. These are the trigonometric identities we're going to be using. Tan of x equals sine of x over cos of x. 1 minus sine squared of x equals cos squared of x. 1 minus cos squared of x equals sine squared of x. And things you must know by now are that negative 2x is the same as negative x minus x, and 2x is the same as x plus x. So, notice here that in the numerator you can factor out a sine of x. So this is actually sine of x times 1 minus 2 times sine squared of x over. Now in the denominator, notice how you can factor out a cos of x, so that's going to leave you cos of x times 2 times cos squared of x minus 1. You go back to your trigonometric identities, you'll notice that sine of x over cos of x is the same as tan of x. So we're going to write this as tan of x times, I'm going to put brackets here, negative 2 sine squared of x can also be written as negative sine squared of x minus sine squared of x. So this is actually 1 minus sine squared of x minus sine squared of x over 2 cos squared of x can also be written as cos squared of x plus cos squared of x. So this is actually cos squared of x plus cos squared of x minus 1. We're going to rewrite this as tan of x times bracket 1 minus sine squared of x, if you recall from your trigonometric identities, is the same as cos squared of x. So we're going to substitute cos squared of x here minus sine squared of x. This is going to be over cos squared of x. And notice that I'm going to flip cos squared of x with negative 1. And I'm going to end up with negative 1 plus cos squared of x. So I'm going to rewrite this as tan x times bracket cos squared of x minus sine squared of x over, notice how I'm going to factor out negative 1 here. So I'm going to have cos squared of x, and I'm going to factor out a negative 1 here. So I'm going to end up with 1 minus cos squared of x. If you recall from your trigonometric identities, you'll notice that 1 minus cos squared of x is the same as sine squared of x. So this is actually the same as sine squared of x. You can rewrite this as tan of x times cos squared of x minus sine squared of x over cos squared of x, and negative 1 times sine is the same as negative sine squared of x. So this cancels out, and you're left with tan of x times 1, which is the same thing as tan of x. And this is our final result.